Alright guys, what's up? First thing, first video. So, God forbid I don't mess up. But anyway, alright guys. So what I want to talk about that's on my heart right now is basically knowledge. Because our brains and our minds are wonderful pieces of machinery. It's like art, not just neurons and things. I mean, obviously it's made up that scientifically, but as a human being we have feelings and emotions and just all these great things that go on in our brain. So really I just want to explain what I believe that knowledge really is and wisdom really can be, and how we're going to be benefited by wisdom and knowledge. Um, so first off, I want to make a statement, like a, what is it called? Well, just say this. Of course I'm a teenager, and of course I'm talking to a teenager audience, so I'm not going to know everything, and I'm not the wisest person, but I do believe that you can gain wisdom and gain knowledge in certain points of your life. Okay? First is that, that's what I want to say, is that wisdom dwells within life itself. Now what does that mean? Here's what I think it means. Is that without life you can't have wisdom. Without living through things you can't have wisdom. Like, say for example, a person who's stuck in jail for their whole life is not going to be the wisest person if they've been there their whole life. If they've been stuck in a box for their whole life, they're not going to know much about experiencing the outside world and what it's like to be living. So there you go. Wisdom and life, wherever my hand is, they interconnect. So, with that being said, knowledge and wisdom and all that great stuff, it all starts in life. And you can get book smart and you can get educationally smart, but can you really gain true wisdom just from that? Let's say I went to school every single day and didn't do anything else except go to school, do that, go on the bus, not talk to anybody else, just eat, school, oh, sleep, yeah, whatever. All that. What advice would I have for people that are struggling in life, that are struggling in other parts than just a math test, or other parts than just, I got a B or a C, I want to get an A? Well, that's where the part of living comes in. And so knowledge is really gained in moments of hardship, or in moments of joy, but you got to work hard, you got to strive hard to be smart. You don't just sit there and knowledge just naturally absorbs to you. And if that does to you, well then you're a dime in a dozen. And that's great. You're special. But there are people who get turned off by school and get turned off by knowledge in educational parts because it's so overbearing in life, and they're not getting any support from wise people and not getting any support from true wisdom. And that's what I come to say. And that's what I feel. Because I've had a chance as a kid growing up to talk to some old people. I had a chance to talk to a lot of people that are a lot older than me, because as a kid I grew up around my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, my other grandparents, and my aunts, uncles. They were mostly adults. I had seldom child friends, but mostly the child friends were family friends. So I was around adults a lot, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Actually, it's made me more mature and more wise in some retrospects. That's why I have it. Okay. But anyway, one thing that leads me to that, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm being sidetracked. Same thing though. Listening to your elders, just if you want, just get a chance. I mean, Now, some people, they might not be as serious, but if you get a genuine person to tell you what they've learned in life and what's been going on in life, you'll get a lot of information out of it. And they have full life just as we have, and they've experienced things we haven't. As much as we think the whole world will revolve around us, there's points in our life where we haven't reached there yet. We haven't got to those points. And so I believe that God and fate, whatever, if you're not a believer in God, that just fate and the way things roll out, these people that are wise are put in our lives sometimes and tell us these things because it'll save us trouble, it'll save us time, it'll save us heartbreak, it'll save us bunch of pain that we don't have to go through if we just follow the steps that they followed because they've already experienced that pain. But at the same time, we'll experience pains that we can tell our children or our next generation that comes up. So, that being said, age, wisdom, it all comes through life. It all comes through hurt. It all comes through hurt. My voice getting cut off. It all comes through hurt. There we go. And it is definitely way beyond book smarts and way beyond the principles of grades. So I just want to let people know out there, if you're feeling, not as confident because you may have a D or you may have a C, you may have an F, and you feel like you can't be a smart person or you're not smart, let me tell you something. Let me wave my little finger at you guys, because everyone has the potential. And everyone can have wisdom, because I've known people who have D's and C's, and they'll give me the best advice about relationships or what kind of people to talk to, what people not to talk to, or how to just survive in life. For example, my neighbor, my girlfriend, okay, but her dad, he's got a business going on. They got a fairly nice house, upper middle class, what do you want to call it, and they're sitting there, they're sitting in a good place right now. But why? Here's why. Not because he went straight through college, because he didn't. He had not a good home life, and his mother had to take him under her wing. And, he had to live through those hard parts of life, but now he's coasting in a good spot of life. Why? Because he experienced that hard times in life. And now he's got his own business, a painting service, and they're making a good funds. They're making, good payments, and they're having a happy life. Still got to experience some problems now, but overall, it's doing good. Of course, they're good Christians too, and they've been guided by true wisdom and true knowledge. So, yes, grades do help. Yes, knowledge does help. But you got to know the aspects of life before you can dive into the aspects of text, the aspects of reading, writing. You got to know why you're going to use it in life, not just how to do it. You got to know what that's going to affect in your family life and affect as you as a person, how you can help people, or how you can just make yourself be molded into a star, be molded into a tool that can be purposely lived. And I think that pretty much covers it. Oh, but one more thing. A lot of times I felt this way. A lot of times you feel like you study and you study and you study, and you may be hearing from other people and you may do all these things and you try so hard. And then test time comes around, you go to take the test, and what happens? Nothing. You get an F, or you fail it, and you get a D, whatever. And it's a confidence decreaser. You don't like it. And that person who's like, oh, I didn't study, oh, it's easy, and they did it and they got an A. That's annoying. You want like A your face, but anyway, my point is that studying and being, in that mode, I call it a mode, school mode, in that program thing of uniformly just reading and doing whatever, think that's going to just solve everything, and then you're going to be done with education, and it's going to become a whole lot easier, but it's not. Especially if you don't have life wisdom, and you don't have, you know, the privilege to understand true knowledge. Because without true knowledge, you can't experience any more knowledge. So, and also, without true knowledge, you can't discern what's false and what's not false. And I'm not just talking about religion, or I'm not just talking about beliefs and everything. I'm talking about, should I do this for an economic value of my home, or what should I do to make sure that I'm satisfied in in life. So that's that. I think that we need some wisdom in this generation. We need some true knowledge in this generation. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I know everything, because I don't. I'm not the oracle of information. I'm not the, but I'm pretty sure I have a good idea who does. And the Bible definitely talks about true wisdom and true knowledge. It says the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, is the beginning of new knowledge. And look it up or not, it doesn't matter. But all throughout the Bible, there's many circumstances of life. You don't really hear about people going to school, or, oh yeah, Peter, he was in USF and then stuff happened. No, that didn't happen. He had to experience trouble. All the disciples, pretty much everyone in the Bible life, they had to live life just like we did, and it's an account of real life, just as us. So, if you really want to check that out, I would suggest highly reading the Bible, because even if you don't dig into the Jesus, and even if you don't dig into the story that God is real, the Bible is a very, very good basis, a very good structure of principle living in true knowledge. It'll lead you to true knowledge, because the wisest people in the world wrote that book. Because in that time they were led by an even wiser God. And He's still around today. And I think that pretty much sums up what I have to say. If you liked anything, or you have any questions, you can go ahead, be cynical if you want, comment, do whatever you need to do. If you're pissed off at me, I said something that offends you, that's fine. And I'm sorry for that. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I gotta speak out what's on my mind. I gotta speak the truth of God. I gotta speak things that I love to speak about. So, hats off to you guys for if you sit here and listen to me. Alright. Well, comment. Oh yeah. Question me, whatever. I'll try to answer the questions as best I can. Love you.